Welcome to Social Genius, brought to you by Drunk on Social, where we help you stay ahead of social media trends, share the latest news, and highlight the strategies that are working to help you grow your business. Now let's join our hosts, Tristan and Jeff, in 3, 2, 1.
By now, you certainly know that Instagram is a social media platform that is arguably the most important platform to establish your brand and business as we head into the future. Understanding that growing a following is simply what the world tells you is important, but in actuality is purely vanity with very little results. And that's why we have come to really appreciate and endorse Michelle Berman with the Instagram Power Method, who teaches you how to actually connect with ideal clients and attract them to you without having to sell. Michelle comes from a place of practicing what she preaches, as she has built her business 100% through organic Instagram leads. Everything is rooted in sales psychology and conversation based on tapping into the brains of your ideal client. Vanity metrics are for, well, vanity. Go connect with Michelle today. Check out powermethodmasterclass.com. That's powermethodmasterclass.com, and be prepared to change your business's life.
Hey, we are live and we are back for episode number 58 of Social Genius, and we're giggling because I just said that twice. We went live on the YouTube before we started recording. So that is the trials and tribulations of recording live content. But this is 58, Tristan. We just passed the 1 year mark, and I think both of us were like, oh shit, we've done 52 of these?
Dude,
and here we are now. This will be released in May. We've got some fun stuff to talk about. It's been a couple weeks since we've done this. So where do you want to start, buddy?
Well, dude, anytime Elon Musk buys anything, it becomes news. So apparently he just picked up a whole mess load of Twitter stock and is now the majority owner of Twitter stock, which is insane to me. Because I mean, not that we would know, but I didn't see that coming.
Are they going to start saying Twitter to the moon?
I'm just glad that he has a platform to be able to make Shiba Inu go higher. So,
you know what? It actually was doing well as of the other day, and by well I meant like $14 a share. But we're talking about Dogecoin there. But yeah. Dogecoin.
That's to the moon.
It's definitely not to the moon. I made good money on it and then bought more and have since lost money. So it's the story of my life.
It's a cute little dog.
So here's what he says in his tweet: free speech is essential to a functioning democracy. Do you believe? And then he asks a question: do you believe Twitter rigorously adheres to this principle? And then there's 70% say no.
Wow. Well, I mean, does any social platform at that point, right? You know, I was listening to Tim Ferriss's interview of Mark Zuckerberg, which I sent you.
Yep.
And in it, he was talking about Mark Zuckerberg was talking about how they want to create an independent group of people to be able to monitor and indicate how social platforms should function and when they're breaking certain laws or ethics. And I thought that was interesting because, dude, social media is so new. Think of how new this thing really is, right?
Yeah. Well, you asked the question, about from his question, is free speech, will we ever achieve that? And the answer is yes. And the platform already exists. It's called Truth Social. I mean, it's called Truth. I mean,
you beat me to it.
You don't know what I'm talking about. We're talking about Donald Trump's app that does rival Twitter, and it's called Truth Social. And
oh, it's so good. That made me laugh.
I'm surprised Elon didn't invest in that one, man.
I mean, yeah, that was at the top of my list. sure.
Well, and if you read through this article, which we'll link, of course, in the show notes, he does kind of go back and forth with several people and keeps talking about it. Dude, it's interesting. I mean, the guy clearly has a finger on the pulse, whether you like him or don't like him. He's pretty genius. In fact, it's kind of off subject, but kind of funny. There was a tweet the other day by Joe Biden's camp. This is not a political comment, but it was by Joe Biden's camp, because I don't think that Joe Biden actually tweets, but just make a hunch. But it said something to the effect of General Motors has created 10,000 jobs and blah blah blah, creating electric cars, and Ford has created 5,000 jobs and blah blah, blah 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 for electric cars. Elon Musk comments, he goes, well, Tesla's created 50,000 jobs and done whatever else. And it basically said, just noting that to whoever does Joe Biden's tweets. It was so funny. And it's still right.
Funny guy, dude. He's a funny guy.
Give the guy some damn love, man. Nobody wants to give the guy any love. He's done some pretty impressive things.
That's funny. That's funny.
I tell you what, if you own Twitter stock, congratulations, because you're about ready to pop. If you don't own it, it's too late because it's already popped.
Yeah. And Jeff and I were just Googling just to make sure the top 5 most visited websites in the world, according to Wiki, and Twitter is number 4, right? And it's been number 4 for a while there, dude. Because every time we've looked it up, it's very consistent. Now that's according to SimilarWeb too, because there's so many different websites you can go to, and they'll categorize Twitter as like number 12, number 7, number 18, or whatever. This one puts them at number 4, which I think is pretty awesome to note, man, because we don't, well, I don't know about you, but I don't put enough love into Twitter.
Not enough. I actually enjoy it, but I don't peruse it. I just go, if I have a profound thought, I go share it.
But that's where we need to engage more with people.
I know,
right?
I know. But yeah, because people aren't engaging with us because we're not there much. I just looked it up. I just looked up the stock on Robinhood, and I got an alert, like a warning. This stock has recently experienced elevated volatility, and it is up $10.56 in the last week. From $40, it's up to $50 a share. That's a big jump,
That is
relatively
massive.
speaking. So, in other words, don't buy it. Can you see that? Can you see if you're looking at my screen? See that?
I
jump?
like that. $50. That's a massive jump.
Look at that jump. Yeah, just straight up. Yeah. So if you're not watching this, I just showed the ticker, and basically in the last week, it literally has a straight line up, which is pretty awesome, pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Although over the past year, it's down $14 a share. So at one point, it was at $64 a share. Maybe there's still some, I don't know.
Who knows? Well, Jack Dorsey stepped down, what was it, like a month ago? 2 months ago?
Yeah, I think it was a few months ago. Yeah. And then the guy's name that I can't pronounce took over. Parag Agrawal.
Something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I am logging into Instagram for the first time in a long time. I just logged on right now.
Jack Dorsey's a St. Louisan.
He is, man. You know what's interesting? When I interviewed Jim McKelvey and I was reading the book, I had no idea that Jim and Jack were both in St. Louis. Jack worked for Jim in his first job. And then they created Square together, which I had no idea they were both from St. Louis, which is awesome. He still has his glass blowing office or building in St. Louis.
How about that? We have relevance. We have relevance.
There you go. St. Louis is on the map.
Barely. Thank you. Yeah, it's almost baseball season. We get back on the map when it's baseball season.
That's right, dude. That's right. So what else you got for me?
You know what? Kind of a good segue, I would say, was something that I stumbled upon last night. And again, we're talking past tense here because this is when this was released. But it was about Snapchat acquiring NextMind Tech. So we're talking about something that kind of resembles an Oculus, except it has these nodes or sensors that are basically designed to guess or know what you're thinking and what your next kind of thought or move is. And It's what do they call it? It's non-invasive brain. It's a non-invasive brain computer interface, and it just allows for hands-free interaction using mobile devices. It's coming, Tristan. It's coming.
Dude, I honestly can't wait until I'm able to operate things with my brain, or just send you messages when I just think about it. I'm like, oh, just what's up, Jeff? Did we forget to do that? And it just goes to your brain.
It could be bad though, because it could be, you're thinking bad thoughts about someone, and then if they share, because the first thought is, am I going to be able to read people's minds? And the answer is no. But this contraption, this device, is going to be reading your mind. I have no idea how that works exactly.
Well, dude, I mean, we were talking about Elon Musk, but didn't he invest in a company, or didn't he create a company called Neuralink? And Neuralink is already the company that's investing in working with tech being built into your brain, so your brain can work with that piece of tech, whatever it looks like. And it looks like the first thing they're tackling is really those. I don't even know how we're talking about this stuff, but the first thing they're tackling is those people that lost bodily function, like arm, they can't move their arms, they can't move their legs. Mm-hmm. So they want to connect through like this little piece of tech that they add to your spinal cord to reconnect that signal so that you can move your hands and you can move your legs. That's what they're working on, which is, to me, is absolutely insane and in a beautiful way.
I agree. Yeah. I think this will probably have some sort of an impact on Alzheimer's and memory, that sort of thing. There is also a link that we'll have in the show notes towards there's a trailer for this product, and it kind of gives you just a little insight as to what you'll be able to do. And one of the examples is they're showing a DJ and how, he can control the music based on his thoughts, or there's, somebody controlling the lights in their house based on their thoughts. It's pretty damn fascinating. I imagine, it's going to start typing messages for you and such, those sort of things. I'm guessing this is all kind of an extension of VR, AR, etc., right?
Yeah. And I think that's where we need to look at, well, where's the world heading in regards to social? Is social going to live where we're not anticipating? And that's, how we pick up our phones right now, and this is where social media lives, and we post from here. Well, what if social media lives in you? And, we've been talking about having an interface, which is like an Oculus. But what if somehow tech advances faster through Neuralink or through what you were talking about, right? Because Snapchat picked it up. And all of a sudden, we don't really need an interface. We are the interface, right? And now we can post, or it's not far off, dude, but we can do whatever we want directly into that world, whatever it looks like. I think we lost our 2 listeners.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, and here's the point, and we talk about it all the time, is that having your finger on the pulse of what's coming next is becoming increasingly important to your business. That's the moral of the story. And how many of the 2 of you that are listening wishes you had jumped on TikTok sooner, for example, right? Or maybe jumped into Facebook sooner before Instagram or any of them, really, because really it applies to all of them. And so if you're just starting to get to this point where you're recognizing this, which Tristan and I recognized with TikTok, I mean, that's kind of helped what birth where we are today, because it kind of made us realize, wow, that was powerful to be early. 2, look how fast things are changing. And it's like, this is a full-time job anymore to keep up with this stuff. And you don't have to make it a full-time job. You just subscribe to this kind of stuff and we've got you. If you want to, go ahead and rival us, but good luck. We're too far ahead of you. I'm kidding. You're here because we're putting this stuff into your mind. We're telling you that you might want to invest in an Oculus in the coming months, because you know what? Over time, you're going to start seeing us meeting in virtual worlds. And, again, just to have the base knowledge of this kind of stuff, knowledge, is I still think it's power. And the more you know, the more you're out ahead, the more you're going to be willing and ready to adapt. And that's really what it's all about here.
That really is it, man. And that's why I love seeing the changes that happen. Instead of being scared of Instagram adding this and that, or TikTok changing and adding an extra few minutes to the videos, I love embracing everything. So I love seeing where TikTok is going too. But I think that the two front runners are, all right, and I know this is tough for you. I think it's YouTube and Instagram, dude.
Why?
I think the more I've been looking at this is I love that everything does happen in TikTok, and social media lives in TikTok and then is then branded out everywhere else. But what I find is that you have such a massive following on YouTube, not us, right? Just in general.
YouTube does.
Yeah, YouTube. And the ability to retain people's attention long-term, to be able to process not just attention, mind space, but also transactions money-wise, right? YouTube, I think we forget that YouTube is still number one when it comes to that. This is why it's the second most visited website in the world, right? And I think with Instagram, you still have the majority of, look at the differences. The number one, this is why I love doing this thing that Miggs is going to do for us for Drunk on Social. The number one influencer in the world on TikTok is it Charlie D'Amelio? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she dances and she does amazing stuff dancing, I'm sure. Then you go to Instagram and the number one influencer.
Don't act like you don't know.
I'm just saying.
Sorry.
The number one influencer in the world on Instagram, I think is it The Rock or is it Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yeah, it's
Cristiano.
Ronaldo.
Yeah. So I think you have such massive people on Instagram, and that's not going anywhere. And I think that it's shifting so well because you and I are playing with both. That's where we are the most, Instagram and TikTok. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching Instagram keep up and now change at such a rapid pace that I think it's going to stay ahead of TikTok in the next year. And I don't think either of them are going to catch up to YouTube because they don't own Google. So I think TikTok remains massively relevant, but at third place. I do see Facebook though dropping off, dude. It's scary to talk about that, but without groups, Facebook would be dead. Like,
yeah,
what are you there for?
Definitely. But they do have the metaverse, and they're the only ones really playing in that world, and that's why I think their relevance is going to continue to remain high.
Yes, dude. The company, Facebook, Meta, isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
But Facebook itself, like, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 10 years, it's not the same version of itself at all.
100%. Yeah. And I think going back to what Tristan said, that don't lose sight of it. You know, if you're having a lot of success, let's just say on Facebook, we're not telling you to vacate that. If you're having a lot of success on TikTok, don't vacate that. It's going to be a to each their own type of thing. I don't know that YouTube for sure is the leader in the clubhouse and probably will never be copied in terms of monetization, but I don't think YouTube is going to be as relevant to the masses because I think it's the top 2%. And I think, you know, like we always talk about with TikTok, you have an opportunity to gain more eyeballs quicker because the way the algorithm is set up, whereas Instagram's is not. And so for most, it's very difficult to grow on Instagram. And so it frustrates them. I don't disagree. It's a freaking awesome platform. It's going to be massively relevant forever. But until they figure out how to actually be a trendsetter and not just a R&Der, I think they're just going to stay in the same vein. I just don't think they're going to be that far ahead, in my opinion. But, you know, that's the beauty of this stuff. We don't really know. We're just giving opinions, you know?
We're just throwing out crap. Hopefully you believe some of the stuff we're telling you.
I think you should be everywhere, to be honest with you. And I think
I agree with.
You should build your strategy to be able to do that more efficiently. That should be your goal with your social media, is to scale to that. Not tonight, not overnight, not tomorrow, but, you know, scale to it. Scale to where you're creating the content. It can be cross-posted across multiple channels, and you have a presence everywhere. It just increases your reach.
So
yeah, that's true, man. You never know. You know what's interesting on that? And I know we're going off on a tangent.
Yeah.
But when I post to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and I'll give you an example. I just did it over the weekend. It was a video about that guy who was saying real estate agents have like, it's so flexible to be a real estate agent.
Oh yeah. You're laughing at him. Yeah.
Yeah, I was laughing at him because it's hilarious. So it did really well on Facebook Reels, right? It sucked on TikTok, and it did okay on Instagram, right? And I haven't posted it on YouTube Shorts yet.
Define did well.
On Reels, I think I'm at 4,000 views, and I posted it late. Yeah, on Facebook Reels. Yeah. Instagram Reels is like 1,600, and TikTok's like 300 or less.
That's still good, though. I mean, when you think about it comparatively, it's hard to get. It's almost impossible to get 1,000 views on a video anymore, unless you're doing a reel, and that's the reality. And if you do reels consistently, you're getting 1,000 views consistently, and it's the power of using the right tools. And that's the thing. So TikTok, you're going to muddy along at 200, 300, 500, 600, 50,000. And that's what you're not getting on Reels. I think I had it pop once, and otherwise I've never popped like that. I'll pop for 2, 3, 4,000, and literally it happens in a snap of a finger, and then it just dies. Whereas my TikToks just continue to grow. I mean, I'm getting likes on stuff that's getting brought back from 6 months ago. That doesn't happen on Instagram and Facebook. And so that's just where TikTok, in my opinion, just the algorithm's just more flexible for whatever reason. I don't know why they don't mimic that. Because that attracts creators. Creators want that hit of dopamine. And that hit is a lot of views, a lot of engagement. And I don't. Let's get back down to earth and cover one more topic, which you wanted to talk about, which was Instagram updating its Reels editing tools. So another segue, if you will. Yeah. But this is good. They're advancing. So tell us more.
they're advancing. I love that. So Instagram just added this simple feature to be able to edit your Reels, but just to rearrange the little video segments that you do. So let's say you shot the video, not like Jeff and I do on our phones, but you shot it on Reels, and you shot it in little increments. So you can now go back and rearrange which one you want first, which one you want second, which is kind of getting to where TikTok is at. And I still think TikTok has the best editing features, hands down, off any social outlet. But it's nice to see that Instagram is keeping up somewhat, which is nice.
Somewhat keyword. And I will add a couple of things about TikTok too, because they're on my list to shoot videos about. TikTok's adding a new GIF library, which which by the way was interesting, because as I was doing this article, it got me thinking, how do you pronounce it? So I literally Googled how do you pronounce it, which then sent me down a complete rabbit hole of a history of how do you pronounce GIF or GIF. And I'm actually doing a video on this because I was so fascinated by it. The answer is, it's up to you to decide. One of the founders, though, he chose the name and then he would correlate it to the peanut butter. And so he says it's GIF, but since then, the company Jiffy, whatever you want to call them, Barack Obama, some big publications have all come out and said, no, it's GIF. It should be a hard G, not a soft G. Anyway, totally off basis there, but TikTok GIFs, I'm going to go with GIF, that's going to be expanding. Another thing they're adding, which I'm not sure if you've heard about this, is they're adding a watch history. So you know how you'll go watch a video and then you start scrolling, or it resets your feed and you're like, shit, I can't find what I just watched. Now TikTok is going to be adding a watch history feature to their platform. Dude. So you can more easily go find some of that stuff that you may have forgotten to favorite or engage with. It's interesting. Another new feature. They haven't dropped an official announcement about when it's coming out yet, but it's coming.
I love that, dude. Yeah. I really like that, because now what I'm feeling is that they're hold on, dude, look where the copying is coming from now. all of a sudden the copying is coming from TikTok.
Yeah.
Right. They extended their videos to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. And they started doing stories. Right. So now first they copied YouTube. Now
Still haven't figured that one out yet, but yeah.
Yeah. And dude, just try it. It doesn't mess your grid at all. I already tried it.
Yeah, but if I post something to my story, it doesn't go to my feed.
No, it won't go to your feed. It'll stay on your little picture.
So I have to create something outside of my pillars, essentially. Is what
You
you're saying.
got it.
Yeah.
Just random crap. So they took stories and now they're going to do this. That's like a YouTube thing, dude.
Yeah.
So they're taking all of the things that they think already work at a high level from these. And notice how they're not taking anything from Facebook.
Because Facebook's got nothing to give.
I mean, imagine creating a community inside of TikTok. I don't even know how that would look, but
Well, that would potentially crush Facebook. So
yeah, that would be interesting. We'd have to hurry up and do Drunk on Social inside of TikTok as a community, which would be amazing.
If that came out, you're right. We certainly would.
Yeah, I just thought that was interesting, dude. I like where they're going now. Not only are they being very, very innovative with the items that they're releasing, right? But they're also borrowing what's working from other companies, which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see that.
I like it, man. I like it. The last thing we'll say here, if you've listened this far, thank you. And are you a part of our coaching? Do you want to get more intimate with us? So we do provide some group coaching, which is relatively affordable, I would say, $199 a month. We do 2 coaching calls a month. And just as an example, on a recent call, we dove deep. There was, I think we've got 8 to 10 people that have signed up. We just started. This is being recorded in April, and you're listening to it in May. So hopefully we have like 50 by then. But there was only a handful of people on the call, and Tristan and I we just pivoted and we went deep, and we literally helped a couple of our students to find their pillars. And hopefully change the complexion of the trajectory of their social media brand. And that's what we want to do for you. Now we can also go deeper and do a whole hell of a lot of stuff for you, from helping you, create video content, to editing it, to helping you create a newsletter, to creating graphics and static posts, to doing posting for you, all those sorts of things. So if you don't know about that, once again, check the show notes. I'm sure we'll have a link in there for those items. And hopefully some of you that are in those groups are listening to this podcast as well, because the more you can get from it, the more you can bring questions to us on those calls, and we can help you scale your business.
I love it. Join.
That's all he's got to say.
You took the words out of my mouth.
That's all he had to say.
That's it.
Until the next episode, my friend.
Should we shoot an episode when you come over?
Oh yeah, probably. Absolutely.
Oh, that'd be fun, dude.
It would be stupid not to.
Yeah. We just have to fit in this little camera right here.
I mean,
that kind of would be fun.
I could say so many inappropriate things, but I won't.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting for one of those inappropriate things. Oh, it's so funny.
See you guys in the next episode.
See you, buddy. See you, everyone.
Thanks for listening to Social Genius, brought to you by Drunk on Social. We are here to help you take your business to new levels through social media. Make sure to subscribe to get updates on new episodes, and come join us on our Drunk on Social Facebook page. And as always, make sure you leave us a great review on your favorite podcast app. Feedback and likes are very much appreciated.